y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about midget wrestling. And before we get into that, please hit like for me. Also hit subscribe, unless you're already subscribed, in which case thank you for staying subscribed. So we're going to talk about this. Last week, go back in our Wayback Machine. I said how hard it is to watch Impact and how it was very tough to watch that show, and I was actually about to stop reviewing it, and I was going to stop watching it. Well, not stop watching, but I was going to stop reviewing it. I decided, between the time that video went up, I decided to give it one more shot, and I was going to review Turning Point, the pay-per-view from Impact that took place November the 14th. And I was going to review the show. I was sitting there, I was taking notes, blah, 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 blah. And then, because I remembered the card. And then a match happened that I didn't remember being advertised. Brian Myers versus Swoggle, meaning Hornswoggle. And I just sat there for a moment, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a squash match, and we're going to get this out of the way. It's stupid. But, maybe they just need to burn 2 or 3 minutes. 8 minutes later, that match was still on. And I had tuned the fuck out. Okay, we had, for starters, this guy took a flying head scissors from a midget. Now, of course, how would you go about getting in a position where a midget could give you a flying head scissors? He had to bend down, right? He got smacked in the face by a midget. This guy like 4'5". The fucking midget gave him a German suplex. That's right. A full-grown man took a German suplex from a midget. Now, I know a lot of people are going to get into the comment section maybe and say, but Mongo, come on, man. WWE has done this. That's where Swoggle made his name. He was the Cruiserweight champion. I'm like, yeah, and it was fucking Carny shit then. The only thing that is, on the list of things I do not want to see. Number one is invisible shit. Invisible man, invisible bombs, invisible guns, anything like that, I can do without. I will absolutely want nothing to do with it. Second, absolute absurd shit. Dildos, guys wrestling dinosaurs. I'm talking guys dressed as dinosaurs, by the way. And that did happen. Wardlow wrestled a motherfucker who was dressed as a dinosaur. You had all that type of absurd blow-up dolls, all that brooms, all that absurd shit. I don't want to see that shit either. Third on that list, fucking midgets. I don't need to see midgets anywhere at any point in time. I am not somebody who finds midgets entertaining. And I know that midgets have been a sideshow act for a long time. I know that they usually do midget versus midget, or they do bigs versus littles, they do bigs and littles. So they have like a full-grown man and a midget against a full-grown man and a midget. And they've done this. Now let's be honest, they've done it in more serious quote-unquote promotions too. Bill Watts has had midgets pin full-grown men before, but Bill Dundee, who got pinned by a midget in Mid-South, was not much bigger than the midget. If we're being honest, Bill Dundee was a tough guy, but he was like 5'4", maybe. He was not much bigger than that midget that pinned him. And then Bill Dundee also beat the snot out that midget, and then had other people beat the snot out that midget. Now Brian Myers beat the shit out of Swoggle, sure, but the idea that it takes you almost 10 minutes to beat a midget is fucking embarrassing. Now, after midgets will be women. Like, when you have, that's I think, what was that? Midgets was number 3. So number 4 of absurdities is men wrestling women. Because you can do men and women and it makes sense. You can't do man versus midget and it makes sense. You can't do man versus broom or man versus blow-up doll and it makes sense. You can't do man versus invisible man and it makes sense. Man versus woman, at least you're dealing with another person. Of which you can say superior training. Ronda Rousey is an MMA fighter. It makes sense that sometimes she might be able to grapple with a guy and get, and even if he might have the strength advantage, you can sort of kayfabe that her technique overwhelmed that strength advantage. Or you could say, well, she's smaller, so she's faster, even though that's not true either. You could play that game. And that's sort of game you can play with midgets too, is that they're fast. But they cannot cause you any physical pain. Because how are they going to reach you? What are you going to do? Kick you in the fucking knee? He can't even reach your knee. He's as big as your knee. And so I said to myself, I don't know why I'm watching this. I was watching it. I was watching it for free. Let's put it like that. And I just happened to be sitting there, and I stopped doing everything I was doing, and I said, fuck Impact. Like I really was like, I finished watching the show because everything that was good about the show happened after that. That's kind of how fucked up it was. Like, I think that was like the third or fourth match or whatever. But the rest of the card was good. The women's match was good. The main event was fine, even though it had the Warthog in it. I didn't really care for the X Division match, but the tag team title match was pretty good too. So it was like 3 good matches on the show. But I had to get over this fucking hump of watching a full-grown man wrestle a fucking midget. And I don't like this. I don't like it. Like, that's some truly freak show carnival bullshit. Like, I know how people throw around the word Carny all the time. Like, oh, it's just Carny, it's Carny. Like, no, when you see midgets involved with something, like Bill Watts had midgets and they would laugh at him. Like, oh, look at the little midgets. The little midgets running around here. They're real tough guys. He would still talk about how tough they were and shit like that, though. But they were supposed to be for the kids. They were for the children. Now I'm supposed to invest myself into a storyline that involves a man wrestling a midget. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wouldn't want to watch a midget wrestle a woman either. Same thing. It's stupid. It is stupid. I can't abide by this. It is so embarrassing. I know, that's the kind of stuff that did turn people off when they watched WWE. It's the shit that killed the cruiserweight division for years. Because nobody gave a shit. After you have a midget win the cruiserweight title, what can you do? How much lower can you go? And I'm not talking about vanilla midget, because Kevin Nash is 7 feet tall and, Eddie Guerrero is 5'8". That's not what I mean. I'm talking this motherfucker is literally a midget. He needs a specially made dresser drawer, a specially made car. He is literally fucking handicapped. Being midget is a fucking handicap. It is a handicap. You're wrestling a handicapped person. Okay, that is not entertaining. It's not entertainment. It's not theater. It's not artistic. It's not sports. What the fuck is this? This is carnival performance bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Fuck Impact. Fuck them. I'm not. Look, man, I don't care about Brian Myers. That's not even the point. I'm just talking in general. Because I don't give a fuck about Brian Myers one way or another. He could have did a job to a literal stack of straw. I don't give a shit. I don't care about him. But when you ask people to pay for your show and you're going to have a fucking midget wrestling in the middle of the goddamn show and they're wrestling for 10 minutes or something like that, and they're not wrestling another midget, even that would be too much. But when you have them wrestling a fucking full-grown man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what you do. And then the fucking midget is doing like frog splashes off the top rope. And so like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Fuck this. That said, there is some entertaining midget matches. Okay. The WLC match is notorious. It's probably one of the best midget matches ever. But I don't sit and watch midgets. Like, even when I see them like on the network and stuff, I usually skip them. They mean nothing. They're non-canon. You cannot pay attention to any type of midget match. They're a fucking sideshow. They're sideshow freaks. They're bearded ladies. They're the fire breathers. The guys who stick the swords down their throat. They're Cirque du Soleil shit. And I saw midgets in Cirque du Soleil. They were actually pretty cool. They were doing stuff, that made sense for their size. They weren't out there trying to do extra shit. Why can't wrestling put midgets? And I know that I heard the story. I was about to wrap things up, then I heard that Vince McMahon wanted to have a midget division. which has got to be one of the top of all the stupid things he's done. That's top 10. He didn't actually do it, but that's top 10 stupid ass decision to try to have a midget division. Oh, that's dumb. Oh, that's really dumb. That's super dumb. So I'm done. Like, fuck midgets. Not midgets as in, fuck all the midgets that ever existed, but midget wrestling is absolute carnival shit, and I don't see the benefit of it. That should go on the list of it needs to be said out loud where everybody can hear it. If you wrestle a midget, you're a fucking carny. It's a waste of fucking time. Especially if you're going to go out there and sell. If you're going to beat up a midget, that's straight up babyface stuff. A heel stuff. If you're a grown man beating up a midget. But that's the only benefit of it is you beating up the midget. It's like you beating up a child. Okay, this is stupid. Stop doing this. This is dumb as fuck. This is truly dumb as fuck. And of course, Impact, where you had 6'3", jacked to the gills Brian Cage get beat by a woman. Of course, they would have a man wrestling a midget in a real match. Of course, that makes sense. Because Impact doesn't give a fuck. They're imploding slowly but surely. It's like a Jenga board at this point, Like you just pull one thing and the whole fucking company gonna crumble under the weight of their own fucking stupidity. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you even watch this show? And or not. Let me know what you guys thinking about all of this stuff, midget wrestling and all that, in the comment section below. Like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.